in topical areas that help facilitate learning better and expand the wireless network. Middle school, we have a ratio of 10 students to 1 computer, which is obviously double the rate of the average for the state and Department of Education minimal standards. So we want to improve the ratio of student to computers in the middle school, as well as replace the oldest computers. Bash, we want to acquire computers for some of the teachers. Little, replace the oldest computers. Hood, replace integrated computers. District offices, we don't need to do much besides just updating the software utilized by them. And district-wide is provide more smart classrooms. Again, this is an example of the more detailed description that was asked of the application of technology. You've seen this chart that we're asking for $100,000, but we need $183,000. And we broke the cost allocation per school down that is very somewhat based upon the number of integrated computers that some 8, in some cases 9 years old, student population size, smart classrooms, etc. So what we did is broke this down per school based upon the goals I articulated in the earlier slide. And said for the delta of the $83,500, we'll look for grants, which we have obtained in the past from Fidelity and other sources, as well as donations that are made by the public. So we want to be fiscally conservative. We don't want to ask for more than we need in terms of meeting the basic standards for the Department of Education and state averages, and hope that we make up the delta of $83,000 through donations and grants. So some of the plan is to keep pace with technology and education today, not to exceed it, just to keep pace with it. The goal of the 3 years is to achieve at least the state averages and basic Department of Education standards. Supplement the technology budget by grants, donations, and outside sources. So it's an active program to do that. We've remained aggressive, thanks to the administration and teachers, et cetera, to obtain outside sources for computer, as well as volunteer work, by the way, and track against this plan for the next 3 years and provide updates to the town meeting. So that's a summary of the educational plan. Again, we have not received full funding in the past. We've obtained the majority of the technology through donations and grants. We need to update the technology so we can provide a basic kind of technology standard for our students.
Thank you, Mr. Van Diever. Is there any further discussion? Gentleman at the microphone, did that answer your question, sir?
Yeah, he answered some of my questions, but I still have a lot. Based upon what I, at least some of what I understand is going on with the school renovations, assuming that the bachelor school renovation project is accepted, there was an article in the paper recently that said that to facilitate students from that school into the other schools would probably mean utilizing the computer labs and something like that in those schools for at least 1 school year until that project is completed, in which case it seems premature to me to be investing money at the elementary level right now at this amount of money. I'm sure there's money in the school budget for what they need to run the school system for this year. And also, with the middle school and high school, I realized that at the middle school there is supposedly a working computer in every classroom for the teachers to use, and they probably do need to be upgraded to some extent. But at the high school level, I'm so concerned with this particular presentation and what the ultimate goal is here. This discussion of so many computers per student, I don't know whether the DOE comes up with that number, but I know that when you look at the high school curriculum, you look at the computer lab, whether it's a general purpose computer lab, one for math, or one for science or whatnot. Those labs do exist, and our students are using them. I do realize they need to be upgraded, but it's a curriculum change that I think resource center. So what I would like to propose, I don't know, I just would like to find out if there are other people here that maybe have some of the same feelings, maybe they can express it a little bit better. I would just like to amend this and reduce the technology.
So all amendments will have to be in writing.
Okay, but I'd like to suggest a reduction to $50,000 to get us through this particular year until the batch of the project is finished and the money goes to whatever the part of the plan that we have.
Excuse me, sir, but according to the motion that I have in front of me, the only appropriation to be aligned for technology is $30,000, and that's what I think they're talking about, isn't it?
The school department's technology plan line item is $100,000. And what I'm suggesting is that I think that $50,000 will be able to get them through this year at the junior, at the middle school and high school level, and renaming elementary school needs until the bachelor project is completed. I also understand the bachelor project.
Before we discuss it any further, sir, could you please provide me with the motion to amend in writing so that we have something in front of us to talk about? The motion to amend is to reduce line H to $50,000 and to reduce the total appropriation to $178,000. By Mr. Long. Mr. Long, you now may speak. Here I am. George Luongo, isn't it? Yes. Yeah. Do you wish to speak to your motion, or I cut you off in mid-sentence? Okay. On the motion to amend, Mr. Van Beaver. Yes.
Steve Van Beaver, 6 Law Road. I do want to emphasize that this part of the plan is a detailed plan that breaks down the use of the technology we use to the schools. We did provide a detailed presentation to the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee that provides a lot more detail than I had time for tonight to articulate. I do want to emphasize that this is a crying need. We have technology in the school system. The fact that we have 8-year-old computers for our kids, they have operating systems no one is supported by Microsoft and Apple, and the kids are forced to use the computers at home to conduct educational work. Now, it's quite a shame. I think that we need $183,000. We said that we would go out and try to find external funding sources, as we have in the past, through Fidelity, etc. I think arbitrarily kind of cutting the technology down $50,000 while having all the facts in front of you is really just a disservice to our students, to our kids. I think that we went through a plan, which we were asked to do, and this plan is a detailed plan of a breakdown of the application of this technology. Some of the questions you asked, I kind of got lost in kind of some of the things you were saying, but it's not the for example, the labs that are being utilized, the computers, these are still being used by the students. Now, those computers are being transferred to the classrooms instead of using them for the lab. So it's not like those computers are not going to be utilized by the students and therefore still needed by the students. Also, the high school particularly, we have allocation of $61,300 for the technology for that. And what that does specifically is, as computers to the library does not exist today, it updates a few of the computers, 2 of the computers in the science and physics lab to do research on some of the science activities. 2 smart boards. So and one projector. So the amount of money we're asking for here is rather small in perspective of the number of students we have in the use of that technology. Again, we went through a 6-month plan here to ensure that the technology was being applied sufficiently and conservatively. And again, we spun out the money over 3 years, so we're not asking for the full load today. We're asking for over 3 years to meet the minimal standards. Just to benchmark, the Department of Education stands by state averages. This is a way to measure how we fall. We're not looking to exceed that, looking just to get to the averages. So we feel we can provide some sort of benchmarking so we can track how we do going forward. That's the idea of using that, not to get into technical detail about 5-1 versus 6-1. We're looking just to get in the ballpark. Well, way out of the ballpark today, 35% above the state average. We're to get a little closer to that over the next 3 years, which we know we have a long task ahead of us to get.
Gentlemen at the microphone, please state your name and address, sir. That's all right. Everybody was standing when the motion was made to amend.
William O'Neill, Indoor Road, question.
Okay, we'll wait until somebody seconds that motion. Mr. Diamond.
I will second that motion.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to terminate debate on the motion to amend. On the motion to terminate debate, which takes a 2/3 vote, let's try for a unanimous call. All those in favor of terminating debate, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. On the motion to amend, which is to reduce line H to $50,000 and to reduce the total appropriation to $178,000. Under our bylaws, Mr. Luongo, you have 2 minutes. Do you wish to make use of that to speak to it, now that we have moved to the question?
We did get a little bit more information. I still have issues with, why the computers being moved out of the lab into the classroom where in the lab.
Well, now that you're talking about your motion to amend.
So I would like to pursue with my motion to amend. I'm not. I didn't get the answers that I needed to ensure that our students are really going to get the technology with the computers that they need with the plan that was presented. So I would still like to see the amendment.
Okay, the motion is to amend. It requires a simple majority vote. On the motion to amend line item H from $100,000 down to $50,000 for a total appropriation of $178,000 instead of $228,000. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. Motion is lost. We are back to the main motion without amendment, which is for $228,000 for line items A, B, C, E, F, and G. Is there any further discussion on the motion, on the main motion? Mr. Diamond.
I would like to move to the question here.
The motion is being moved to the question. Is there a second to the motion? You're seconding it. Did you second that, Mr. O'Brien? No, you didn't. Then you have the floor.
Moderator, thank you. I move to amend Article 7, capital expenditures for fiscal year 4,000 by deleting line A under the fire department to replace the deputy chief vehicle costing $24,000. Propose the article to read $204,000.
Capital expenditures for fiscal 04 by deleting line A on the fire department to replace deputy chief's vehicle, $24,000. Mr. O'Brien, I'm having difficulty reading your handwriting here.